chimney breast, final chimney breast, final chimney breast.
Is it time for Vinyl Chimney Breast?
Yes, it's week 3, songs about nuclear holocaust. Unsurprisingly, given the subject matter, this week it's very metal, and we start off with Anthrax, Spreading the Disease album from 1985, the song in question being Aftershock, which is an okay song from this album, probably not one of the best. There are some Anthrax classics on this. I always thought that Joey Belladonna's voice sat a bit incongruously with the music. He was very much a melodic singer, really influenced by Steve Perry, and he could really sing like that as well. And he often got a lot of lyrics to sing in every song. There were a lot of words to fit in, which doesn't always work that well when you're trying to be melodic. But this was perhaps before there was so much of that. So there are some good melodic songs on this, and some just good fun thrash metal. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality from 1971. The song in question on this being Children of the Grave, which is a real Sabbath classic, and a good example of Tony Iommi tuning down to C sharp, which famously he did to accommodate the loss of a few fingertips in an accident. Made it a bit easier for him to play the guitar. I first knew of that song probably from the later Ozzy Osbourne solo version, which was a much faster, perhaps more energetic version. This is a real doomy, sludgy sounding, slow version of the track, as it was originally done and as they intended. Iron Maiden 2 Minutes to Midnight from 1984, from what I think is their best album, Power Slave. One which they've performed ever since then in concert, probably pretty much every time they've played live, staple of the live set. Great track, written by Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson, and the title of course referring to the symbolic doomsday clock, and sadly we're probably some way closer to midnight than the 2 minutes they foretold of in '84. Megadeath, So Far So Good So What album from 1988. The nuclear warfare song on this being Set the World Afire. First song on the album. It actually opens up with a short instrumental, Into the Lungs of Hell. And the track itself starts off with the old Ink Spots recording of I Don't Want to Set the World Afire. And then there's the old trick of hearing the needle scratch across the record before they launch into their incendiary, fast-paced thrash metal of that track. This was a short-lived Megadeth lineup, just one album from them. They changed musicians a lot, but the right guys to be playing on this record, I think. Father Abraham and the Smurfs, Father Abraham in Smurfland. For the most part, this is a really feel-good album, but things take a somber turn on track 11, Mushroom Cloud over Smurfland. That was one that they did actually issue as a single, with the B-side being Blue Mageddon. Metallica Ride the Lightning from 1984, and our nuclear warfare song on this is the opening track Fight Fire with Fire, which, considering that this was their second album, but already there are some signs on this of the band just getting slicker, more professional sounding, moving towards, if not exactly a commercial sound, one which would find favour with millions of people around the world, really. It's still a particularly heavy, fast, thrashy track, one that you wouldn't play to your granny. Gary Moore, Corridors of Power from 1982. Our relevant song on this is End of the World, as you might guess. Great song, amazing live version on the We Want More live album. On here, it's Jack Bruce on vocals, doing a great job, and there were any number of tracks I could have chosen from Gary Moore, at least 3 others. It seemed to be a reoccurring theme on his solo releases over the years. Ozzy Osbourne, The Ultimate Sin from 1986, 2 for the price of 1 on this. Thank God for the Bomb, which concerns the idea of nuclear weapons as a deterrent, and Killer of Giants, which is a great track, well worth a listen just for the guitar solo. and this was the first metal album that I bought with my own money. Roger Waters' Radio Chaos from 1987. You already knew that because you've read the Morse code on the front. I picked the song 4 minutes from this to fit in with our theme, but really the whole album could apply, it being a concept about a young man who manages to stage a simulated nuclear attack around the world but disables the capability of countries to respond, and in the ensuing drama everybody comes to realise that perhaps it wouldn't be such a good idea to blow each other to smithereens. Thanks for watching Vinyl Chimney Breast. All the music you can hear in the background is by See Through Head. You can find out more in the links under the description. Please click on everything, and I'll see you next week.